Level 1. Tiro. You are now a Tiro, meaning unsewn, unfinished, without any useful shape yet. The camp physician inspects your teeth as if you were a Kapua slave market mule. He measures your height and checks your palms. Can your back carry 45 pounds of iron and gear for 20 miles a day? No one asks your opinion. On day 1, you run with full gear and vomit. On day 2, your feet bleed inside the kaluga. By day 10, you don't think about the pain, just the rhythm of the boots in front of you. You share a tent with 7 strangers from Hispania, Gaul, and Rome. A veteran tells you, never lose sight of your shovel. Every night, you dig a 3-foot trench around the camp. The Legion doesn't just march, it builds and destroys cities daily. You are a builder of things no one will remember. Level 2. Miles Gregarious. Your gladius weighs just over 2 pounds. It is designed for a quick thrust to the abdomen, not broad, theatrical slashes. The Legion does not fight as a collection of brave individuals. It fights as a collective system, shield against shield, push, and then the gladius slips through the gap. You are stationed in the freezing, wet wastes of northern Britannia. Your daily pay is 12.5 sesterces, 225 denarii a year. But the Legion deducts almost everything for food, gear, a burial fund, and cleaning oil for your 25-pound lorica segmentata. You must put it on in under 2 minutes. That time could save your throat from a barbarian blade. Rust is a disciplinary failure. Your days are spent in tedious garrison duty, standing guard, building paved roads, and hauling stone. You still have 19 years left on your contract. Level 3. Immune. You know how to suture a wound in the pitch dark. After the camp doctor saw you cleanly suture a Decanus' torn thigh without the man losing consciousness, you were immediately transferred to the medical tent. You are a Capsarius, one of the immunes. This means you are exempt from grueling physical labor like digging trenches, hauling stone, or cleaning latrines. Your leather bag holds linen bandages, bronze probes, scalpels, and a piece of leather bearing the deep teeth marks of 15 different men who survived your operating table. One afternoon, a bloodied messenger arrives with a shattered spearhead buried deep in his shoulder. He looks at you with terror, asking if you can save it. You don't reply. You simply pick up the scalpel. The answer will be written in his flesh. Level 4. Decanus. 8 men sleep in your contubianium, but you do not sleep. You have no formal officer rank. You have something far heavier, nameless responsibility. The centurion pointed his vine stick at you one morning and said, "Keep these men alive." You break up petty fights, cover guard shifts for the sick, and inspect gear before dawn. If one man fails, the whole tent is punished. In the chaos of combat, your sole duty is to keep the shield wall tight. Last week you lost Titus, a 22-year-old boy from Ostia who had never seen a city before enlisting. They found his body after a 3-day ambush in the woods. That night, you quietly divided his belongings among the survivors. His warm blanket went to Aulus, his pocket knife to Marcus, and his carved wooden bowl to the raw recruit whose name you haven't even memorized yet. Level 5. Tesserarius. Tonight's watchword is Corvus, the crow. It is written on a wooden tablet that must pass through your hands first. The entire safety of the night camp rests on you. You are the Tesserarius, managing 4 watch shifts of 3 hours. In the Roman army, a guard sleeping on duty is executed by his own comrades, a brutal, ritualistic punishment known as fustuarium. The night has its own quiet language. You must distinguish a fox's rustle in the underbrush from an enemy's step. Tonight, the northern sector feels too quiet. You dispatch 2 soldiers to investigate. They return in 7 minutes. Just a wild deer caught in the brambles. You note the rotation but move your sharpest guard north anyway. Deer do not linger in the dark, they run. The night continues. The camp sleeps. You do not. Level 6. Optio. You carry a thick wooden staff tipped with a heavy bronze ball. As Optio, you stand at the very back of the formation in battle, while the centurion leads from the front. You close the line. If a soldier wavers, panics, or thinks of running away, the first thing he sees when he turns around is you and your staff. It has struck many shoulders to enforce discipline, preventing the line from breaking. You also manage the administrative books, weapon assignments, leave passes, and grain rations. You know who owes money to the burial fund and who has gone sleepless. This morning, the centurion is down with a raging fever. 80 pairs of eyes look to you for leadership. Move out, you command. They march. Level 7. Signifer. You wear a complete wolf skin over your iron helmet, its hollow jaw resting directly on your forehead. You carry the Signum, the sacred standard of the century. Wherever it goes, the men must follow. If it falls, the unit breaks. You are also the financial banker of 80 heavily armed men. Every coin passes through your hands. You keep the ledger of savings, the burial fund, and winter debts. You know who gambles and who sends money home. Publius, a debt-ridden soldier, begs you for time. You give him until next month because you decide when rules are useful. In battle, you are the enemy's prime target. Holding the Signum in your right hand and your Gladius in your left, you must defend the soul of the century with your life. Level 8. Centurion, Century Commander. Your helmet crest is transverse, running from ear to ear, so your men can spot you instantly through the thick choking smoke and swirling dust of the battlefield. You carry the Vitus of absolute authority. You broke 4 of them this year, correcting lazy soldiers. 80 lives depend entirely on your decisions. You carry 4 distinct battle scars, 1 on your shoulder, 2 in your thigh, and 1 on your hand that you never report. You lead from the absolute front, the first into the breach and over the enemy wall. They do not hold the line because they love you, but because you bleed right alongside them. The soldiers hate you, but in 20 years they will speak your name with deep, unspoken respect. Level 9. Primus Pilus. Out of 59 centurions in this legion, you are the first. You command the first century of the first cohort, the highest rank a commoner can achieve. No politics brought you here, only 31 years of active service and the simple fact that you survived. Your pay is 60 times that of a recruit, but your responsibility is crushing. You sit in the General's War Council. Wealthy young tribunes who complain about the cold weather listen to you with terrified attention. You advise the legate on which battles are winnable and where the terrain favors the enemy. At the end of the year, you will receive a massive pension and the gold ring of the equestrian class. The younger centurions watch you, calculating their chances. Level 10. Tribunus Angusticlavio. You are 24. You wear the narrow purple stripe of an equestrian tribune, and the veterans know exactly why you are here. You did not earn this through blood, but because the path to the Roman Senate requires 1 year of military service. The battle-scarred Primus Pilus quietly corrects your logistical blunders before they reach the legate's desk. The centurions salute you out of obligation but spit in the dirt when you pass. Your duties are strictly administrative: supply lines, payrolls, and minor trials. Last week you signed death certificates for 11 soldiers killed in a skirmish, names you didn't recognize. You sealed the scroll with your family ring, went to a lavish dinner, and slept peacefully. In 10 years, in the Senate, perhaps it will trouble you. Level 11. Tribunus Lateclavio. The broad purple stripe on your toga is unquestionable. At 26 you are second in command of 6,000 men because your father is a senator. The camp prefect and Primus Pilus step aside for you, but everyone knows the unwritten rule. You learn, they operate. Your job is to avoid public mistakes. Reviewing the ledgers, you spot an administrative error that would have left 2 cohorts starving for 4 days in winter. You quietly correct it without a word. The veteran centurion who made the error knows what you did. That silence buys more loyalty than 10 loud commands. You write a note in your journal. A mistake corrected in silence is a ruler's greatest tool. Level 12. Prefectus Castrorum. 30 years of service, you are the camp prefect, third in command, and the highest peak for a commoner. The legate handles strategy, the young tribunes handle politics, and you handle everything else: fortifications, heavy artillery, sanitation, and logistics. When a bridge collapses or the camp floods, those noble boys run to you in panic. This week a bridge collapsed because green engineers ignored your warning. The young senatorial tribune signed the report, putting your name down for operational responsibility. You let it go without a fight. 30 years of service have taught you that silence is sometimes much cheaper than a bureaucratic war. Level 13. Legatus, the legion commander. The emperor himself signed your commission. 6,000 professional soldiers are under your command, and your name is on every dispatch. At 33 you have governed a minor province and survived the Rhine. Your Primus Pilus is Lucius Cornelius Rufus, a veteran of 32 years. During war councils he looks at the maps with absolute stillness. When you show him a border warning, he proposes 2 watchtowers and a supply depot in 30 seconds. A task that took you 20 minutes to read. You decide to ask him tomorrow how he reached that conclusion. That willingness to learn is what separates a great legate from a dangerous one. Level 14. Governor, provincial ruler. You rule 3 legions, 15,000 swords, and 1,000,000 civilians. Every decision that crosses your desk could break a younger man: land disputes, grain shortages, and hostile border treaties. The emperor keeps extending your mandate. You tell yourself it is trust, but you know the truth. A governor with 3 loyal legions is a threat Rome prefers to keep far away. You stay. At night your old Vitus, the centurion's vine cane from your youth, rests by your bed. It is the only relic of the young recruit who signed the sacramentum 25 years ago. You built forts, sutured wounds, held the shield wall, and survived. You know the empire from the inside out. This is the end of your long march through the ranks of the Roman legion. Tell us in the comments below, at which level would you have realized that the price was simply too high? If you want to continue entering the places where history does not invite you, subscribe. There is always another frontier waiting.